Hi, I'm Mike Perkins from CarGurus. This week I'm driving the 2016 Subaru Forester 2.5i Limited. It comes with a 2.5-liter boxer engine, good for 170 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque, mated to a CVT, although a 6-speed manual comes standard on 2.5i and 2.5i Premium trims. This version comes with the optional navigation system, which gets you the Harman Kardon stereo and Subaru's EyeSight active safety system for $2,145. Now 2 years into the Forester's 4th generation, the Starlink infotainment system finally arrives, providing smartphone functionality for its touchscreen interface. The old system was a bit of a mess, so let's see just how much of an improvement this really is. Even though this is a new system, things still feel a bit behind with regard to performance. There's a lot of drag to be dealt with here, although the pinch and drag functionality, that's very, very welcome. The 7-inch touchscreen is flanked by these 6 touch capacitive buttons and 2 knobs, although you'll notice that some of them are repeated here, both on the sides and on the screen. Now what you can do is reorder all of these icons so that your favorites always appear here. And as you can see, the button response time is much quicker than the pinch and drag. But what really bothers me is the response on this tuning knob over here. It always seems to go one more than I'm wanting it to. That's frustrating and really actually dangerous while driving. Also, I find some of the settings buried illogically deep in the interface, like changing navigation display from on to off-road. I had to go to the manual to figure that one out, and that's something that should just be intuitive. There are some readability issues, though. This screen washes nearly completely out in the sun, which of course is only exacerbated by this panoramic sunroof. Plus, it's got one of the lowest resolution backup cameras I've ever tested. Now the system pairs with your smartphone easily through MirrorLink, but a lot of users have mentioned issues and errors with different models of phone. Android Auto or Apple CarPlay would be a much better option here. Something else that would be very welcome is more power. The CVT does a great job of delivering an impressive EPA-rated 24 city and 32 highway miles per gallon for a combined rating of 27. But the power delivery is pretty frustrating and often lurchy. Passing and merging will require some planning here. The 6-speed manual would make much better use of the power available and only drops mileage down to 22 city and 29 highway. Or better yet, go for the 2.0 XT with a turbo 2-liter engine for an impressive 250 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, enough to send the Forester to 60 in just 6 seconds. That engine only comes with the CVT, sadly, but it'll still deliver an estimated 23 city and 28 highway, although testers have had some trouble recreating those numbers. One thing Subarus have always boasted is better off-road capability than your typical crossover. Now since 2014, Foresters have had the option of the X-Mode feature, and that'll mitigate your traction, stability control, and your engine and transmission settings to really optimize your traction below 25 miles an hour. Now, it's not going to give it the off-road chops of a 4Runner, for instance, but with X-Mode and 8.7 inches of ground clearance, it's easily going to best the Escape that I tested just a couple of weeks ago, which can't even manage a full 8 inches of clearance. That said, there is a trade-off. The Escape was much more nimble on the road, and here the extra height in the Forester can definitely be felt. But visibility is excellent. There are nearly no blind spots, and with 17.4 foot turning radius, it beats the Escape by a full 2 feet. It also trounces most competitors with regard to space. With 34.4 cubic feet behind the rear seats and 74.7 cubic feet with them folded flat, the Forester beats out usual class leader Honda CR-V by 4 cubic feet, and it's 10 more total cubes than the CX-5. Although if you go for the panoramic sunroof, you'll be giving up nearly 6 of those from the reduced headspace. Even so, things feel very spacious in here. At 6'4", I've still got plenty of headroom even with the sunroof, and honestly, things look a bit better than I've come to expect from Subaru interiors. Soft touch surfaces are nearly everywhere, and things have been kept rather conservative as per tradition for Subaru interiors. But there are a few gripes. I've never liked this third screen here. As far as I'm concerned, 3 screens is at least one too many, considering I like to commit a certain amount of attention to the road in addition to looking at display screens and gauges. And this center console, it slides far too easily. It's always sliding forward right when I'm braking or looking over my shoulder to check for blind spots. And I wish that these seats had a bit more leg support. I always feel like I'm about to fall right out of them. What it does have is a near perfect safety score from both the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. In fact, it received top marks in all tests except for total frontal impact safety, for which it got 4 out of 5 stars. This version has the EyeSight safety system, which employs stereoscopic cameras mounted here in the windshield for things like adaptive cruise, lane departure warning, and forward collision avoidance. But no blind spot monitor, so I guess it's a lucky thing that the visibility is so good. And because EyeSight's an optical system, it can actually be compromised in low visibility situations like driving straight into the sun or during misty fog or when the windshield gets dirty from things like snow or dust or mud. It's actually turned off on me a few times over the past week, and I'd love it if you let me know in the comments section whether or not you've experienced the same. What Subaru's ended up with is a very competitive offering in the crossover SUV segment. It doesn't have the off-road capability of the Trailhawk, and it doesn't have the on-road manners of the Escape or the CX-5, but what it does have is very impressive space, a near-perfect safety record, and enough off-road capability to have some fun. For 32 grand to walk away in this limited, or even more impressive under 23 for the base model, the Forester's a great deal and worthy of your consideration in this very competitive segment. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the link in the description. You can head over to CarGurus.com and read my full review of the 2016 Subaru Forester.